this is gonna be kind of a ranty type of a vlog, and I actually tried to film this last night, but it got really overly aggressive, and that was not the tone I was going for with this, so I'm gonna try it again now that I've slept on it and have freshly woken up, although that is why my nose is all stuffy, so sorry. Hopefully by the time we finish the video that'll have gone away, but who knows. Goodness. If you clicked this video, you saw that the title is about forced positivity being a sham. Or more precisely, it's bullshit, because it is. I would like to preface this by saying there's nothing wrong with happiness, or happy people, or actual, genuine, authentic positivity, or people genuinely trying to get you to cheer up, or people genuinely recommending positive thinking. Those are not what I'm talking about here. Not at all. There's a huge division line here, where that all is just fine. The problematic behavior comes when people start trying to tone police the things you say, and where you say them, and when you say them, not because of you, but because it makes them feel uncomfortable. And that's really what it boils down to at the end of the day. That's the TLDR version of this video. The takeaway of a lot of people who claim the just think positive thing are really saying it because they're uncomfortable. Now, I'm going to expand upon that, but before I do, I would like to point out the irony that I have this shirt on, which now it's been noticed. When I tried to make the original version of this, it was just ironic, but now that I'm re-recording it, I left it on purpose, but, nope. Which is, like, so accidentally negative, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? No, that kinda does work for this, even though that's not why I bought this shirt. I bought it because it was, like, the most asexual thing I had ever seen on a shirt and thought it was hilarious, so I was like, "Oh, look, my sexuality." So anyway, back on hand here, or back on track. So, I should also add to that preface that, okay, yes, nobody wants to be negative all the time. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. There are people out there who do want that. So, I mean, most people don't want to be negative all the time. Even people with mental health disorders don't want to be that way all the time. It just is a symptom of the disease. It's just part of it. Now, a lot of people, sure, they don't want to be around people who are negative all the time. There's people, they obviously don't want to be around toxic people. That also is not what I'm talking about here. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about are the people who, like I said, they get uncomfortable at whatever you've shared, be it to their face, be it online, what have you, and they try to force the spoon-fed, canned answer of just think positive down your throat as if it's the cure-all to everything. And it's not. And actually, in a lot of cases, hearing it over and over and over and over again, and that just being the go-to knee-jerk answer from people anytime you say something that makes them even the tiniest bit uncomfy because it was negative, honestly, it makes you feel worse because now you feel like there's something wrong with you for not being able to just think positive. And therefore it perpetuates the cycle of now you feel even worse than you did before. And honestly, it snowballs and it's a vicious cycle. There's obviously many different facets of this. Here on YouTube, for instance, hold on, let me take a sip. Okay, here on YouTube, I've found there seems to be a trend with larger creators. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about actual big creators, because I am tiny. I'm a dot on the map. I'm insignificant. Actual huge creators. They feel this pressure to have to be super happy, super positive. My life is perfect. Nothing bad ever happens to me. Super, super happy, happy, joy, joy all the time. And that's not true of anybody. I'm sorry, you could have like the greatest life on earth, and you will still not be happy literally all the time. But these creators feel a pressure to have to like turn it on like a light switch as soon as that camera goes on to just tamp down whatever the hell they're going through and just be only happy and never talk about bad things ever because they're fearful of people tuning out. And I think that's dangerous not only for the creators who now have yet more pressure on them than they already did before just dealing with life, but now they also have to deal with self-censoring and dealing with just all the stresses that come along with feeling like if I'm real with people, people are gonna leave. But it's also damaging to viewers, especially younger viewers who look up to YouTubers, um, and they look to them as role models and think that this is how you're supposed to be, therefore something's wrong with me. Look at them, they're perfect all the time. What is wrong with me? Why isn't my life like that? And it's damaging when they never see people just be real. Honestly, that's part of why I don't censor myself on my channel. I am real with you. If I'm having a great time, I let you guys know. If I'm going through absolute hell in a handbasket, I let you guys know that too. You guys have definitely heard plenty of that latter one lately, but I've had good reason. So, those who are not a subscriber of my channel and have just clicked this video, my mom recently got diagnosed with lung cancer and just had a lung removed. So, yeah, very good reasoning. And actually, that is going to tie into a later portion of this video. Hang in there. So, with the YouTubers thing though, it just is really scary thinking about these poor kids are growing up thinking that there's something wrong with them just because all they're seeing is this spoon-fed version of reality. Now, when it came to like TV shows and things, obviously, yeah, that was scripted, that was done on a budget, there's like crews behind it and everything. But YouTube is different because it does feel like it's just a person and a camera, therefore it must be authentic, it must be real. And sometimes it is, depending on the channel, depending on the creator. For others, it's very, very filtered. And it does seem like there is indeed something to be said for, yeah, you don't want to be Debbie Downer all the time because that'll be a turnoff to viewers too. So it is a hard balance, like, not gonna lie, but... Sorry, I just lost my train of thought, I'm still waking up. But, you don't want to be Debbie Downer all the time, because nobody's gonna want to watch your channel if you do that. But at the same time, if you're just straight happy all the time, that's not being authentic, and that's just very dangerous to younger viewers, or even older viewers who place that same type of stock in what they view. So, hold on, another sip. Sorry. So, there's that level of it that just really bothers me, and it does seem like because people are more drawn to the super happy, joy type of creators, they are more incentivized to continue going on doing exactly that until they hit burnout. Whereas people who are more real generally stay smaller, and it kind of sucks. I mean, far be it from me to tell you how the system works, but it is how it is, and it does perpetuate this cycle that much further. So, there's that level of things. Then there's another level where, with mental health issues specifically, we're not talking about YouTube now we're just talking in general with people, be this online or in person. If you're really real about what you're going through and you actually get brave enough to speak up about your actual experiences and things and put it out there, be it verbally, be it on paper, be it in a blog, be it on a vlog, wherever, guaranteed you are going to find people who jump in those comments so quickly, and they're like, you really shouldn't post things like that. You shouldn't put things out there like that. You should be more positive. You're so negative all the time. You shouldn't put that out there. And they're totally tone policing, and it's bull crap because, like, well, for one, this is my space right here. You don't have to look at it if it makes you uncomfy, but this is mine, and I will put this here if I wish to. You do what you want with yours. I will do what I like with mine. But people don't like that answer, so they will continue to push the whole narrative of, you just need to think more positive. If you would just think more positive, these problems would just go away. They'd get so much better for you. You probably wouldn't even need therapy. That is actual comments I have received over and over and over. Like, you would not believe how many times I have gotten basically verbatim that exact thing. Not just here on YouTube, in various blogs that I have run over like the past 20 years. I have gotten that over and over and over and over. And be it me actually being blunt and upfront about how I'm doing at that time, be it me posting something like a nuanced poem where if you read between the lines, you can definitely get the subtext. Doesn't matter. It always ends up the same. There's always gonna be the douchebag who's like, nope, nope, you shouldn't put that out there. You should just be positive. Only post positive things. Only put positivity in the universe. Which, okay, there's part of me who does agree with the, yeah, what you put out into the universe does come back to you tenfold. So, I mean, yeah, if you are feeling positive and can be positive, sure, that's not bad, but I mean, you also shouldn't have to self-censor yourself and not feel your feelings under the guise of, I have to only be positive all of the time. I am not allowed to feel these feelings. Tamp that shit down. No. No, that's really unhealthy, actually. Because if you never allow yourself to feel them and process them, well, for one, you're never going to process them. They're just going to get tamped down, and by tamping them down, they're only going to build up and eventually blow up, and you're going to have a huge nervous breakdown for it. You also never grow as a person. There's no personal growth. There's no lessons that get learned from these things if you don't let yourself feel those feelings and go through those experiences authentically, rather than just trying to slap a band-aid on it. Sure, for about 5 minutes it might feel better to just be like, well, I'm just gonna mask this under fake positivity. It doesn't work. I'm sorry. It doesn't. Yes, there's something to be said for the whole retrain your thinking patterns thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people who just perpetually, all of the time, never want to feel a negative feeling in their life ever. That is what I'm talking about. So, with that in mind, those are the people who are heading 50 miles an hour towards a brick wall, whether they realize it or not. How long it takes them to hit that wall varies for everybody, but I mean, that is the outcome. You will eventually hit. It may even take you years to hit that wall, but when you do, it's gonna be ugly the longer you've been doing it for. But, seriously though, especially where mental health is concerned, that is so freaking dangerous to try and censor people from feeling their feelings. I mean, obviously, yeah, you don't want them, like, spiraling out into suicidal ideation or anything, but at the same time, to not allow them to feel what they're feeling and go through what they're going through and learn to be able to cope with those things. That right there, if you don't go through it, you can't learn how to cope. So, just saying, that's really, really, really dangerous. And also dangerous to others, again, because if you're allowing yourself to feel those feelings and be open about those feelings, sure, it may make some other people uncomfortable, but the flip side of that is that it'll normalize people seeing how people learn to cope and get through these things and come out the other side. So, I mean, there's two sides to every coin here. I feel like positivity and negativity are kind of a yin and yang thing that have to go together. You can't have just one or the other and be a mentally, emotionally sound person. You just can't. I know you would love to believe under this new age, yippee, hippie thinking that just think positive is the answer to everything, but it's not. It just isn't. I'm sorry if that sounds really depressing, but that's life. That is life. And at the end of the day, you know what? Yeah, there's a lot of things in life that fucking suck. A lot. They suck balls really hard. That's not to say all of life is like that, but there are a lot of things that suck. But if you slap it under, well, just sweep it under the rug and only think positive, you like can't even cope with day-to-day life like a normal human if you're only doing that. So I'm just saying. Just saying. um so there's that level of things. But the one I find most damaging of all, and this is the one I've heard the most of recently, not just myself, not just towards my family, but also towards my mom, who has bought into it hook, line, and sinker to a point where it actually kind of scares me. When dealing with a major illness, like cancer in this case, the thing you are going to hear like 99% of people say to you, and I think it's because they don't know what else to say and they would feel terrible to not say anything, but the knee-jerk reaction that they say is, you have to just think positive. The only way to get through this is if you think positive. Okay, slow your roll. Before you come at me in the comments, yes, there is something to the power of positive thinking before you flip out on me. You don't want to just like let yourself be consumed with doom and gloom and oh my god, I'm gonna die or anything. No, because then, yeah, you'll just give up and you'll die. Obviously. There's also power of positive thinking does play into physical health, and yeah, you can have a better outcome for it, but it's no type of guarantee. There is no guarantees with it. I'm sorry. Even with the positive thinking, there's not. But this answer, most of the people who say it aren't saying it for the actual patient. They're saying it for themselves because they're so inwardly freaked out by this news, and they're so freaked out by not knowing what else to say. This is the answer that they just give. This is the spoon-fed answer. Just like it's been for all the other things, but especially on this. And God forbid you actually allow yourself to mourn a little bit or grieve and feel your feelings. Oh, there's always gonna be someone right there. Nope, have to think positive. And they get real aggressive with it. Like, really aggressive about it. It's like, how brainwashed are you people? For one. But they basically perpetuate this notion that just by the power of your own thinking, you will control the outcome of your illness. Problem. Some of the most positive people I have ever known, not just surrounding an illness, but just in general, most positive people I ever knew, genuine positive, yeah, they died of cancer. So, where's your thinking now? Where's your logic? Flip side of that, I've known some very negative people who survived it. So, again, yeah, there's something to not letting yourself spin out, but at the same time, you do not control the outcome of the disease by the power of your thinking. And to allow people to think that that's a thing, well, for one, not only is giving them false hope, but number two, that also is very, very damaging to them. Because they can try their damnedest to stay positive and do everything they think is in their control for hopes of a better outcome. And then, like, a bombshell hits and things don't go their way and they take a nosedive and they feel like it's their fault because they must not have been positive enough. It like places the blame on they themselves somehow is a failure for not thinking positive enough. That just bothers the crap out of me, and I see it with my mom. Like, if anybody, God forbid, says even, not necessarily even a negative thing, but just a realistic thing, like, she is there shutting it down like 2 seconds. No, only positive. You can only be positive in this house right now. Only positive, otherwise I'll die. That's the actual thing that came out of her mouth. I'm like, holy hell, please go take an Ativan and calm down. But, yeah, that. That is terrifying that it's that type of brainwashing that they've got people convinced into through that, when that's not how this stuff works, first off. And secondly, I've even seen it, like, with my grandparents who also died of the same thing. Oh, well, maybe if they'd been more positive. Someone actually said that at their funerals. More than once. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still butthurt. Like, 15 years later, I am still butthurt over it. I will never stop being butthurt over that. It's just like, that's literally not how fucking cancer works! Just oh my god. It just... They could have been hella positive about it. They were still stage 4 when they were diagnosed, and it was inoperable. They were going to die no matter what, whether they'd been positive or not. And my grandpa had been relatively positive about it. My nana not so much. She kind of gave up on life after he died. But that's neither here nor there. They were both doomed from the get-go. That had nothing to do with the way they thought. That had to do with they were exposed to asbestos. So, that just, it sucks. And I hate that that's how things went down, but it had nothing to do with the way that they thought. So it bothers the crap out of me that people put this culpability on the patients for the way that their mind works for how their disease outcome goes. When that's not how it works. Like, no. Take a biology class, that's not how cancer works, guys. But even on things that aren't, like, a big monumental issue, I've seen this on as well. I mean, I hate to make an example of this, but it was, like, the most recent one that just came up, and I was gonna make this video anyway, just because of the thing with my mom, but then this happened, and I guess it was just the straw that broke the camel's back. I hate to call this out, because I know this person subscribed to this channel, and I don't want it to look like I'm bashing, because I'm not. But it was just like that one last thorn in my side that was just like, oh my god, I'm making this damn video. I was on the fence about it before, but now I'm doing it. Even on just small, minuscule little things that really have no basis in anything other than just that exact moment. But these people who are so brainwashed into choose happy, you have to be positive all the time, only happy, only positive, and will push this on anyone who says something that they just even don't like the sound of at all. They'll just cram this down your throat to try and shut you up so they can feel better. I had this happen on a post that I really didn't expect it from. But specific example, on just for how ridiculous this was. But I had posted a link to a Paul McCartney article about he had performed at, like, the Cavern Club, because of, like, the release of his new album. It's like a promotional thing, blah blah blah. And I said that I've been really enjoying seeing Paul pop up all the hell over the place lately, like boom 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 boom, back to back to back, like every day there's another appearance somewhere that was unexpected, and it's cool. I'm enjoying it. I love it. But at the same time, I've seen his general patterns with new albums, and this seems excessive. I mean, again, on the one hand, I'm enjoying it. On the other hand, it's getting so excessive to the point where it's almost feeling like, is this, like, gonna be the last one? Is this his last hurrah? And I posted basically exactly that. And first freaking commenter in there, he's just like, oh my god, don't talk like that! You have to think positive! Whoa. Again, slow your roll. I didn't say I think he's dying. I mean, honestly, where I was going with that was, is he retiring? But okay, I guess that works too. And another commenter came in and mentioned something about, this isn't the first time he's played the Cavern Club. I was like, I know. I remember when he did it in, like, 99. I've got bootlegs of that. I know. And then the first commenter pounces back in under that, see? Positive thinking! Be positive! I was like, not even touching them. Not touching either of those comments. Just, fuck it. Next thing I know, within like 15 minutes, they're in my private message box. Like, I know we both had a really hard year, but oh my god, are you okay? And I'm like, dude, it was just a post. There was no ulterior motive. Calm down. Holy shit. Um, Needless to say, I did not touch that either. I was like, I'm just not going there. I'm not doing this. I'm not playing into this because I know it's just going to turn into more tone policing things if somebody was so knee-jerk triggered. It's just something that they are mildly uncomfortable at the idea of Paul potentially retiring, or I guess in this guy's head thought I'm implied dying. So okay, let's say that even. So uncomfortable with that gotta shut that shit down. No, nobody can say that because jinxing. I guess. I don't know. But it's like, dude, chill. Freaking chill. And I mean, that's just one example. There are many I could have pulled from, but that was just like the most recent one that just freaking happened like a day or two ago. So I mean, it's fresh in my mind. All the details of it are. So I just had to make an example of it. Sorry. Again, not hating on you. You're still my friend and all, but you know, please don't tone police me. But anyway, so you know, it's things like that where just the constant onslaught of this from all different sides, it just wears on you after a while to where it almost becomes a trigger phrase after a while. It's just like you see it and you're like instantly just tense, like, oh my god, of all the things in the English language you could have said, those are the words you chose to string together. Was there anything else you could have added here? And again, people who just are genuinely trying to suggest positivity, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's when people just, they don't know what else to say. Or they're trying to shut down what you're saying because they don't want to hear it. And then they say it. Those are the ones, it's always obvious a mile away when it's that category. But those are the ones I'm talking about, not anything else, not genuine happy people. I like genuine happy people. I wish I were one. But or genuinely positive people. I wish I were more genuinely positive than I am, but it is what it is. I am also a realist and I'm not going to delude myself just under the guise of that. But regardless, I have no problem with people like that. None whatsoever. It's only the people who do it to try to control the words out of other people's mouths where I'm just like, not playing this game. So anyway, I could come up with more examples of this. I could make a part 2 that's also half an hour long, or longer, but I'd rather not keep you guys here any longer than I already have, because it's already about half an hour long, so, I am glad that I refilmed this though, because like I said, the original version came off way overly aggressive, and that was not the tone that I meant for this at all. So, anyways, that is all I have to say for this. So, as usual, if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload, leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, are all listed down below, and if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. So anyway, guys, till next time, bye-bye.